Yes, Your Honor, it's like waiting.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, who is the one who was medical reset?
Positions 1 and 2, Ms. Conley. And then positions 3.
0824.
20824.
Just breathe.
He's trying to better. Bro, making me nervous.
Okay, what's her name?
Samantha Beck.
Jail courts, Captain Good.
Okay, thank you.
There's a guy that's trying to get in from court.
Receive, thanks.
Thank you.
Tell her, wait till after do this case. Wait after this case.
On the calendar, the Sanchez, they got over 80. He's not on the felony calendar. That might do an add on, might call for downtown, tell them add them on.
Say she ready for the situation. Hey, Cat. It's off the head of it, I need to slide one of these shoes off, man.
Yeah, like that.
Richard. Watson's dad is here, Taquan Watson, so we'll try to move him to the front. And tell your name.
They got add on downtown.
There we go. Watkins. His dad is here.
Good morning, everyone. Are you all able to hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, good morning.
Wonderful.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Okay, we have a
Recording in progress.
All right, courtroom 1, courtroom 3. All right, good morning and Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Judge Hughes. You are before the court today for your first appearance. Even though we're on video and it may seem informal, it's important that you understand this is a criminal court proceeding. As such, you have certain guaranteed constitutional rights. You have the right to remain silent. You do not need to talk about the facts of your case out loud in open court today. You also have the right to be represented by counsel, and each of you will have an attorney present on the call who will be assisting you during today's hearing. Please know that everything is being recorded. So if you do say something out loud that is hurtful or harmful to your defense, it may be used against you not just today, but in every other future court proceeding going forward. So you want to bear in mind at all times your right to remain silent. The only two things happening on today's calendar is the court will advise you of the current charges pending against you, and then your attorney is going to ask the court to set a bond on those charges. Today is not an evidentiary hearing. The court will not be taking testimony because we only have one side presented here. The state has not been on notice to subpoena any witnesses. If it is necessary in your case to challenge the probable cause, your attorney will file the appropriate motions and you will have a preliminary hearing on a different day. Today is only about bond. All right, thank you for your attention, everybody. Where shall we begin?
Courtroom 1, Your Honor. Position number 18.
18, thank you. That's going to be 23 CP 215079, Cameron Batson. Is that you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Batson, were you able to hear and understand all the rights that I just read out to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I want to assure you that your attorney, Mr. Samuel, is on the line, and he'll be assisting you during your hearing today. Your charges are aggravated assault against a law enforcement officer when engaged in official duty, second count of aggravated assault, fleeing and attempting to elude a police officer, removal or attempted removal of a weapon from a public official, and battery. Officer Gordon, let me begin with you, please.
Your Honor, the GCIC indicates the defendant has no criminal record on file. He was not recommended for unsecured judicial release. Nothing further.
Okay, thank you. ADA Hall?
Your Honor, at this time, the state is going to be requesting no bond in regards to this case, Judge. Respectfully, in regards to this case, you look at the facts of it, Your Honor, the state does acknowledge that it does not have any records indicated by Madam Pretrial, Judge. However, the facts of the case are troubling in that, Judge, he's charged with aggravated assault of an officer. Additionally, Judge, he tried to remove the said taser from the officer and subsequently used that taser on the officer. He's charged with pleading to elude as well, Judge, a battery, and then also an aggravated battery as well. With that being said, Judge, respectfully, we submit that these were violent offenses. It was clearly a threat to the community, Judge. Additionally, Judge, we're just concerned about his overall conduct. With that being said, Judge, the state is requesting no bond.
Okay, have you had contact with the victim?
The officer in this court, Judge, in this case, no,
Yeah.
we have not. Not at this time, Judge. I do understand that I believe the officer did have to go to Grady or something to that extent in regards to this, Judge, but at this time, this attorney's office has not had any contact with the officer.
Okay, all right. And you mentioned an aggravated battery, that I don't see him charged with an aggravated battery. I see 2 counts of ag assault and 1 regular battery.
I apologize, Judge. It was
Okay.
just a battery, Judge.
I just want to make sure that you didn't have additional warrants that we needed to notify Mr. Batson and his counsel about.
And,
Okay.
and for clarification, Judge, let me just check, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. Go ahead and see if you've had any victim contact. And in the meantime, good morning, Mr. Samuel. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Your Honor. Good to see you again.
Good to see you always. Let me hear from you on bond, please.
Yeah. Your Honor, Mr. Batson grew up in Oklahoma. He went to Texas Tech University. He graduated cum laude with a degree in accounting. As you may know, he became a professional football player. He played with the Tennessee Titans for a number of years and recently joined the Atlanta Falcons team. He plays on the second team now, the practice team there. The events here happened Friday night, early Saturday morning, and it was a stop by the police officer. Mr. Batson got out of the car, started doing the field sobriety test, was walking a straight line, and he and the police officer got into a disagreement. And at one point, the police officer, as far as we can tell, and without really much justification, well, first of all, he handcuffed Mr. Batson, then pulled out his taser and tased him. And there was no reason to do that. He wasn't trying to flee or elude or anything. He hadn't assaulted the police officer, but the police officer tased him. It was extremely painful. Mr. Batson tried to push the taser away, grabbed the taser, not to use it, but to stop him from tasing him again. He never actually took possession of the taser, and he then just started running and ran away. The aggravated assault is apparently, some pushing and shoving and maybe a punch. There was no weapon. He didn't use a weapon against the police officer. He never took possession of the police officer's taser, though he did try to grab it away from the policeman. There was no firearm used or anything like that. We don't believe there's an aggravated battery charge, at least that's not what I've seen, just a simple battery. We would ask for a bond, minimal bond. As I said, he plays with the Falcons. They stand by him. The season's coming to an end. He's going to need to travel home, visit with his family in Oklahoma, but we'll be back in a couple months to be with the Falcons. He rents a home here. He has an aunt and I think 2 cousins who live here in Atlanta. Though being a professional football player, obviously he gets traded, and so he ended up in Atlanta last year, and that's who he's been playing with. So we would ask for a bond. We don't believe this is a case that requires no bond. He's not a flight risk. He's well established in the community at this point, has family support behind him, and think a reasonable bond should be set in this matter, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Samuel. ADA Hall, were you able to see if you had victim contact?
Judge, we've not had victim contact. Judge, I've not received any documentation. No, we've not. I don't see anything, Judge. But also, just for clarification, there's no aggravated battery, Judge. However, it is 2 ag assault charges. And one of the ag assault charges, Judge, in this case, it is alleged that he did gain control of the taser. And he subsequently used that taser on the officer, Judge. In regards to the facts further, Judge, he actually kicked the officer in the face. in regards to several times as well. And Judge, just based on the facts and circumstances of this case, it's basically tantamount to the same matter, Judge, which someone lost their life, that an officer had to use deadly force. And so, Judge, respectfully, at this time, Judge, we just request no bond on this matter.
Okay, I understand. Thank you. And the facts of this can be hashed out if it's necessary at a preliminary hearing. Clearly, both sides disagree with what actually happened here. The information in the warrant is in direct contradiction to what Mr. Samuel has presented that his client gave him. But we are not here for preliminary hearing today. This gentleman is 27 years old and has no criminal history whatsoever. So I do believe under Ayala he is entitled to bond. He has community ties, he has employment, and I don't believe that makes him a risk to flee. Pretty good employment if you're playing for a sports team. So I am going to set bond, but it will not be nominal. It will be very high. Aggravated assault is $25,000. The second aggravated assault is $25,000. The fleeing and attempting to elude is $10,000. The removal of a weapon is $25,000. And the battery is $10,000. The total bond here is going to be $95,000. I'm going to put on here no weapons, even though the weapon involved was not alleged to be his. It was alleged to be taken off a police officer. While he's on this bond, I don't want him to possess or have access to any weapons whatsoever. I'm going to put no further violent contact with the officer because there may be a need for contact and that may not be completely within Mr. Batson's control. So I'll put no further violent contact so that he doesn't get himself in trouble if he comes across this officer. Mr. Batson,
Yes,
I don't know of any legal reason why you could not otherwise own a firearm or a weapon, but during the pendency of this case, I'm putting on your bond condition that you are not allowed to possess a weapon. So if you legally have a firearm or a taser or something at home, please let someone else take custody of it while the case is pending.
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
understand that's a condition of your release, sir?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
Judge Hughes, respectfully, this time, Judge, if all possible, Judge, we ask as well that he not use or possess any drugs or alcohol. It's indicated in the affidavit as well that the officer believed that he was under the influence of some type of alcohol. So, Judge, we submit that, that will be appropriate this time. Your Honor would consider that as well.
I will consider that, and given his job, he probably gets tested for that regularly anyway. So on here, we'll put no drugs, no alcohol.
Judge, can I ask you to allow him to travel with the team for employment purposes?
Yes, yes.
And also, when the season comes to an end, he's going to want to visit with his family, which is in Oklahoma. So I asked permission that he be allowed to travel to Oklahoma and obviously Georgia.
Okay. He may travel for employment. We're going to put that right on here. I don't want to just do a blanket. He can go to Oklahoma. So when he has some dates in mind, Mr. Samuel, if you just want to put a consent modification together with the state that he can travel to see his family on this date, this time, whatever.
That's what I'll do.
If you have consent, you guys can email me. It doesn't need to be placed on a calendar. If you cannot get consent, then just have a calendar for a modification. But for right now, we're going to allow him to travel with the team for employment purposes. And if there are other future plans, you can address them as they come up.
Very good. Thank you, Your Honor. That's very fair.
Okay. All right. Mr. Batson, are you clear on all the conditions of your release, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Please stay in close contact with your attorney about this matter, okay?
Yes, ma'am, and thank you.
All right. Mr. Samuel, is that your only matter with us today?
It is, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you again.
You too, counsel. Thank you.
Excuse me, Judge Hughes.
Yes.
Hi. Would you like for me to put that on the bond order, may travel for employment?
Yes, may travel with the team for employment. He's employed by the Falcons, so I don't want to interfere with his ability to earn a living.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so I do want him to be able to travel for his team in employment. All right. Thank you, Ms. Rowe. Thank you, Mr. Samuel. Have a good one. Good luck, Mr. Batson.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, South Annex, do you want to go next?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm good. Happy New Year. How are you?
Thank you. I have position number 32.
Okay, thank you.